Yet another diplomatic spat has emerged between Turkey and Israel. Turkey's government has ordered the Israeli ambassador to leave the country, all in retaliation for the violence taking place on the Gaza border. The Israeli army is continuing to clash with Palestinian demonstrators protesting the U.S. embassy move to Jerusalem. And the Gaza Health Ministry claims that dozens of Palestinians have been murdered and thousands injured. Israeli ambassador to Turkey, Eitan Naveh, has been told that it would be appropriate if he returned to Israel among the bloodshed, according to Turkish media. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu has responded swiftly by expelling the Turkish Consul General in Israel himself. This isn't the first time that the two countries have fought. Diplomatic relations dissolved back in 2010 following the Mavi Marmara incident, when Israeli security forces stormed a Turkish humanitarian flotilla that was breaching the Israeli blockade of the Gaza Strip. In 2016, a reconciliation deal was reached between the two countries over the incident. But Turkish President Erdogan has not been shy to insult and attack Israel for its policies regarding the Palestinians. Israeli officials are denouncing the Turkish president for his expulsion of the Israeli ambassador, calling it a mistake to have ever reconciliated. Education Minister Naftali Bennett claims that Erdogan is soaked in Hamas terrorism from head to toe for his financial support of the terror group that's currently in power of the Gaza Strip. Hamas has called for thousands of Gazans to take part in the March of Return protest on the border of the Gaza Strip. So far, over 50,000 Palestinians have taken part in what were supposed to be non-violent demonstrations since yesterday morning. The IDF has responded to protesters throwing weapons, planting bombs, and flying incendiary kites into Israeli territory with live fire as a means of preventing the masses from overcoming the Gaza border. But the growing bloodshed has caused international outrage. Countries like Belgium, Ireland, France, and Germany are condemning Israel's reaction to the protest. But other nations like the United States and Australia are blaming Hamas for the confrontational conduct. U.S. Ambassador to the UN Nikki Haley has just walked out of the UN Security Council session on Gaza, calling out the hypocrisy of those involved on Twitter. I ask my colleagues here in the Security Council, who among us would accept this type of activity on your border? No one would. Indeed, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu is defending his country, especially against Turkey and its president. He took to Twitter to say the following: Erdogan is among Hamas's biggest supporters, and there is no doubt that he well understands terrorism and slaughter. I suggest that he not preach morality to us.